Hi, welcome to Beauty Wisdom. Find your inner strength and fall in love with yourself. Today's guest speaker is Kim Louise Morrison, and she's an empowerment coach and a friend of mine, and I'm so excited to have her join us. My name is Holly Bilicki, and I'm your host. Welcome, Kim.
Hi, Holly. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Absolutely, absolutely. So could you explain a little bit, what is exactly a empowerment coach?
Well, to me, I use the word empowerment because to me, that is what I do, is working with people who are feeling stuck and going after whatever it is they want. And I give them the tools to empower themselves. So it's not about me giving them empowerment, but I have used tools to empower myself. So I use those tools with my clients so that they can too empower themselves.
So what inspired you to wake up one day and say, hey, I want to go ahead and inspire people. I want to empower people.
I'm not sure if I actually woke up one day and this happened. I think it was through a course of a whole bunch of events in my life, a series of, maybe I should call it actually more so an event that happened to me, a couple of events that happened to me in my life. And then where I went on a process of healing myself. And all the things that came out of that kind of landed where I am now. So it wasn't like one day, I don't think I actually woke up and went, I'm going to be an empowerment coach today, or even I'm going to be a coach or whatever it was. I think I always wanted to inspire people. And through my own healing, changing process, this is how I got to be where I am.
Okay. So could you take us back into a moment of time where you experienced something that kind of said, hey, I have something here, I can help other people? Or what was that like for you?
Yeah. Probably have to go back probably quite a few years, like 9-10 years ago. I was married to a man who was suffering from chronic pain and depression, and his depression was so bad that he was suicidal. And one day he was on a lot of medication, and he also added alcohol to that medication too, mostly for his pain, but for his depression as well. And I noticed one night I'm doing dishes, and I turn around and I notice, I look outside, and like, here he is. He's moved my car out onto the street from our house, and he's about to go and get his car. So I tear-assed outside and I grabbed his keys from him, and I'm like, what are you doing? And he said, I'm going to go crash my car and I'm going to kill myself. I can't live with this anymore. Oh my God. And it was just like the, oh my God, wake up call. It was like, holy smokes, because he'd been dealing with the chronic pain and depression. Of course, as his wife, I had been along that journey with him. And it was just, after that, it was just such a huge, like, oh my gosh. And I had, done what I had hoped was my best to try and help him find healing, methods of healing for him, and a lot of which worked. And after that happened, a few months later, actually, he left me. And we actually stayed very good friends, but that leading to him leaving me. And when he left me, he promised, he said, don't worry, I'm not going to hurt, I'm not going to try and hurt myself or anything. I just need to go live in my man cave. And that was my wake up call that, wow, like this perfect life I thought I had, and this amazing man that I had married was kind of gone. And I realized I needed to go find out what made me happy without relying on outside circumstances, i.e. having the perfect husband, the perfect job, the perfect house, whatever that was. And it was like, I knew I needed to go heal myself. So that was the journey for me, or the catalyst for me, to go and just start, I started taking self-development courses, healing courses. I got into a body of work called Access Consciousness, and I did like Reiki, and I did shamanic work and all kinds of things. And it was all just to heal me. I wasn't even thinking about anybody else at that point.
Right.
I thought I was so messed up. I went and healed me. And through that, I started teaching some of the energetic processes. And I was seeing hands-on healing clients a lot of whom wanted coaching. And through the bodies of work I had learned, and I'd also taken coaching training, I started coaching people. So it was kind of like, one step. So it wasn't like one thing. If I look back, I can see, oh, okay, connecting the dots to now, it's all been a process. So,
So let me ask you this. So for people that are listening, and I know my father suffered from depression. What was that like for you on a day-to-day basis? If you could please share that with us, because a lot of times people aren't aware. They think it's them, and necessarily it may not be them. It could be their partner that they're with. So what are there any signs that you could share with us? And then also, how did you handle that energy around that?
um, while we were still together, I would say I probably didn't handle the energy very well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know now I'm a very empathic or empathetic. I never know what the right word is. Empathic
Yeah.
being.
Right.
And so when he would get angry, I would feel it viscerally, and it'd be like, whoa, like it'd almost be like a slap, even though he never did hit me. He
Sure.
never
Sure.
hurt me. But like sometimes he would get so angry at the fact that he wasn't healing from his chronic pain. He had herniated discs in his back from a workplace injury.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, like one time he came in and he just looked at me and he had this rage, and it was like combination rage and sadness. And he was like, I just wish you could feel my pain for one day. He says, and not that I want to give it to you, but he says, I wish you could feel it. And I could feel energetically, I could feel his anger, and I could feel how I dealt with it was, I shut down. Like I literally was like, okay, Kim's just going to put up a wall now. And I literally shut down. And so that was my really not so great way to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
And also when he was angry too, I think he became non-communicative. And also I just kind of backed away. Like if I felt like you can tell when someone's angry, we all have that.
Yeah.
So I would just like I wouldn't talk to him, and he said to me later, he said, you would tiptoe around me. He said, I couldn't stand that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it was more later that I got all the tools that I have now.
Sure. Well, thank you for sharing that. So you had mentioned access consciousness. What is that exactly?
Access consciousness is, for probably lack of a better word, it's, I wouldn't call it a modality more as in a body of work, or it's a series of, there's energetic hands-on processes, energy work that you can do. And there's also a lot of kind of verbal processing and just a lot of, like it's a lot about being in the question and asking questions and tools to empower you. Their tagline is empowering you to know that you know. So their idea is they don't have the answer. They want to give, and that's again part of why I call myself an empowerment coach, is they give you the tools to tap into your own knowing, because we all have our own strong internal knowing. So that's what I love about it.
Yeah. That totally, that resonates with me, because we have the answers within us. But what I'm hearing you say is that this particular process allows us to get deep within and figure that out, right?
Yeah.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So I understand that you are going to be offering our guests a free gift. Can you speak into that a little bit?
Yes. So it's a 3-part video series I created called Create a Phenomenal Life by Discovering What Makes You Happy. And it came from my own journey of looking to other people, other things to make me happy. So it's 3 really short videos, and it takes you through really practical steps that you can tap into what makes you happy so that you can create your own phenomenal life.
I love that. Thank you very much. And for everyone, there will be a link right below this interview. So Kim, where can people find you?
They can find me at kimlouisemorrison.com.
Okay. Thank you. Is there anything else that you would like to add?
Yeah, just if you're struggling with anything or you're having trouble making a decision, just know that the answer that you need, or the awareness, I kind of like the word awareness better, it is inside you. And you just got to get quiet. You got to tap in and just ask yourself questions and let the awareness come. And awareness can be really fast, and sometimes you got to wait for things to come to you, but everything you need is inside of you. It's not out there.
Mm. When you say a question, what would be a question or two? I know that some people overthink things. So what would
Okay.
that be like?
There are no right or wrong questions.
Mm.
So you could kind of tap into, like, to get an idea of what your own knowing is. You could even ask really simple questions. Like Holly, for instance, you could say, "Is my name Holly?" And you can just kind of go, "Okay, where do I?" Because your body feels a light or a heavy. We call it light
Mhm.
or heavy in
Mhm.
access.
Mhm.
And then you could say, "Okay, is my name Frederick?" You're probably going to get, "Oh, no."
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you're
yeah.
probably gonna, like, even when I ask that, like, I feel that in my kind of like in my chest area. A lot of people feel a sensation in their solar plexus, and it's a
Mhm.
tool. And don't get frustrated if you do this and go, "I don't feel anything." It's
Mhm.
a
Mhm.
it is a tool, and sometimes you've got to give yourself some patience because it's brand new to you. Play with it.
Right. Patience,
It's a
patience.
tool.
Yeah.
It's a tool you can play with.
Mhm. All right. Well, thank you so much. I really enjoyed chatting with you.
Yeah, you too, Holly. Thanks.
Okay. All right. Bye, everyone.